History often begins Africa's story at the moment of disruption. But what did the continent look like before that narrative? Before the colonial era? Before the global reordering of power? To understand Africa's history, we must begin earlier. Across the continent, cities developed as centers of governance, trade, and culture. At Great Zimbabwe, monumental stone architecture rose between the 11th and 15th centuries. In West Africa, Timbuktu became a center of scholarship and commerce. Further east, Kilwa Kisiwani thrived as a trading city linked Africa with Arabia, Persia, and India. These were not isolated settlements. They were nodes in larger regional systems. Trade networks connected African societies across vast distances. Caravans crossed the Sahara carrying gold, salt, and textiles. Ports along the East African coast linked merchants with markets across the Indian Ocean. Cities like Gao, Kilwa, and Mombasa became major commercial centers. These networks moved goods, but they also moved ideas, technologies, and cultural exchange. African knowledge traditions were preserved through both oral and written systems. Libraries in Timbuktu preserved manuscripts on law, astronomy, medicine, and philosophy. Across the continent, proverbs and oral traditions carried governance principles and social knowledge through generations. Knowledge was not confined to institutions. It lived in communities. Political systems across Africa took many forms. Some societies organized governance through kingdoms and empires. Others relied on councils, age-grade systems, or federated communities. These systems regulated trade, resolved disputes, and organized labor. They shaped daily life long before colonial administrations appeared. When outside powers encountered Africa, they often described the continent through their own frameworks. Those descriptions reshaped how African history was presented globally, but the deeper story remains. Cities, trade networks, knowledge systems, political organization. Africa before the narrative. This is episode 1 in the new YouTube series, Africa Before the Narrative. Subscribe for the next documentary.